world, it's Keely and I'm back for another video. This is going to be my May TBR. We've got a lot of books to talk about, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. I have made a list of the books that are my priority reads for May that I would really love to work on, and then I've got a list of other books that I need to work on that I didn't finish from my April TBR, and then a multiple piles of possibilities, as well as another pile that I'm not going to show you for a vlog that I'm currently working on. Let's just talk it through. The first book I want to talk to you about is the one that is left over from my April TBR that I am still reading and would love to finish very soon. That one is Murder by Cheesecake by Rachel Ekstrom Courage, and this one is a Golden Girls cozy mystery. I've talked about it a few times, but this one my sister and I are buddy reading, and in this one you're following obviously the Golden Girls, which if you've never heard of them, never watched them, was a TV show with 4 older women that live together and were best friends, and it's just like the shenanigans that they get up to. So this one so far is reading as if it was kind of like a script for a show. It's not written to be a script, but that's just kind of, it's reading like a sitcom because that's what it's based off of, and you're following Rose as the main character, who was Betty White's character, and she is trying to organize a wedding for her niece, while you're also following Dorothy, who was like B. Arthur, the really tall one. She is looking for a partner, like someone to date, so she goes on a date and the date ends up dead at the wedding, and that's the murder that you're trying to figure out what happened. I'm not very far into it at all. I'm only 50 pages, but I'm having a lot of fun with this one. So this is the final one for my April TBR that I will be finishing. It is currently Wednesday, I think the last day of April. So I'm gonna try really hard to finish that one today if I can. The other one that I am reading, but I said, well, you wouldn't have seen it yet, but I posted about it in a reading vlog, was I started Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, but I am only going to be reading this book when I am outside because I want like full spring cozy vibes. And so we have a garden out front, so I'll be reading in the garden, listening to the birds, and it's lovely. So that's where I will be reading this one. So this one's gonna take a little bit longer because it's chunky and I'm trying to like just really enjoy the process of reading it. So I will be reading this one. Then I have a couple other books that I also started or am wanting to start. One is part of a trilogy that I will be reading over the spring and summer, and then the other 2 are from my April TBR that I didn't get to. So the trilogy is the His Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman. This will be my 3rd time reading The Golden Compass, but this time I'm trying to really enjoy it and get the full trilogy completed. I started it again in April, but I only read the first chapter, so I would like to continue on with this one. I also had Aurora on my April TBR by Kim Stanley Robinson, and I started reading it, but then I put it down. This one is kind of like hardcore science fiction, and I'm not in a super science fiction-y mood right now, but I would really like to continue with this one and get it read in May if I can. And then one that was on my April TBR that I didn't even start was Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee, so I'm going to continue trying to get to this one. So I have this list for May. I had a list for April, and these will be my priority reads that I want to get to throughout the month, but I'm also going to let myself read other things as they pop up that I'm interested in because I'm very much a mood reader, and if I try to only read these, there's a good chance that I'm just gonna hit a reading slump and stop reading. Since I'm such a mood reader, I will be trying to incorporate other books as I can, but trying to circle back and get some of these done. Also, from month to month, if there are any books from my priority list that I don't get to, those are automatically added to the next month, and I want to continue making them a priority and trying to get them read. I'm really trying to not keep books on my shelves for like a super long time without reading them. Just something that I'm really good at doing is like keeping them for forever. So that's why I'm rolling over books from April. I am also reading another book on my Kindle right now, but I need to read it much faster because I'm about to have to return it to the library and I'm not even close to done. And that's the Scholar and the Last Fairy Door or something like that by H.G. Perry, which is one of the books on my other list of authors that I would love to read all of their work. H.G. Perry is one of my favorite authors, and so this will be my 3rd or 4th book fourth book, I think, by that author, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But it's like 450 pages, and I only have the ebook for 2 more days, and I can't renew it because someone else has a hold on it. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we will figure it out. Let's get back to the list. The next one for May will be the next book in the Keeper of Lost Cities series by Shannon Messenger. This one is Never Seen, and this one is book 4. This is a 10-ish book series. There's lots of like smaller stories, shorter stories thrown in, so I don't know how many books there actually are, but I have books 4, 5, and potentially 6 sitting on my shelf, and you can see I did start this at one point and then put it down to read other things. It's just a super fun, magical middle grade series. All of the books are this big though, but they read very fast, so it's just very cozy for me. I want to get back into this world and finish this one. And I have a list of series that I'm working on where I have like 1 book left to finish out trilogies or series or duologies, and I just, as I get to that book, I'm like, well, I don't want it to necessarily end, so I take forever to get to it, but there are a couple on my list here that I do want to get to, and I would love to finally finish The Bone Shard War by Andrea Stewart. This is the 3rd and final book in the Drowning Empire trilogy, I believe, and like, I believe it's the final book. I don't think there are any more. I have loved books 1 and 2, and I really, really need to finish book 3. Again, you can see I started it. There's my bookmark, but then I put it down to read other things, and I would just love to finish out this trilogy. One that has been on many a TBR is Black Water Sister by Zen Cho. This one is a fantasy about a girl who starts hearing her dead grandmother's voice, and her grandmother tells her like, you have to help me with unfinished business. And I have a feeling I'm really, really going to like it. I've put it on so many TBRs because it sounds like something that I would really enjoy, but I never reached for it because I was really, really close to my grandmother, and she died a couple years ago. And so anything that has to do with grandparents, I get a little like, I don't know if I want to read that right now, but I'm hoping I will get to this one. Another series I would like to make progress in is the Belladonna series by Adeline Grace. Book 2 is Foxglove. I think there's a 3rd book, Wisteria, that's already out, and I don't know if that's it. I know there's like a novella coming out as well, so I don't know if it's just supposed to be a trilogy with like additional content. I'm not sure, but I would really love to get to Foxglove by Adeline Grace. Another trilogy to finish will be this one. This is Soulstar by C.L. Polk. The first book was Witchmark, and the second book was Storm Song, and I loved both of them, so I just need to finish out the trilogy. These are, again, fantasy with like magic and all kinds of things, and I really, really loved book 1, really loved book 2, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy book 3 and can mark this as a completed series. Series to start, my husband got me this for Christmas, so I would like to get this one read. This is The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty, and I did not read the Devabad trilogy by this author. I've heard very mixed things about it. You either absolutely love it or you were disappointed by it, but this one I believe is about pirates, and I've heard really, really good things, so I'm very interested in getting this one read. And I don't know if it's a standalone or if it's like the start of, it says a new trilogy. I don't know if book 2 has come out yet. I have to look that up, but very excited for this one. Another series I'm working on is the Enola Holmes series. There are, I think, 9 books so far. I am up to book 7. This one is Enola Holmes and the Black Baroche by Nancy Springer. These are middle grade about Sherlock Holmes' little sister Enola Holmes, and I've been reading them for a couple years. Really, really enjoy them. I've seen the first movie on Netflix. I haven't watched the follow-up yet, but I really enjoyed the first movie. It's just, again, very, very cozy. So I am excited to get to book 7 so that I can continue on and read books 8 and 9. Then I have another stack here of middle grade. I have all of these ideas in my head for like projects to do in May, and one of those projects was to do my own mini middle grade May. Now, typically people do middle grade March, but I want to do middle grade May because I just need more like cozy whimsy in my life right now. So I have a stack of middle grade here. If you watched my spring book haul, you would have seen these, but we have Greenwild book 1 by Perry Thompson, The Wand Keepers book 1, A Sky Full of Dragons by Tiffany McDaniel, Another trilogy or another series I'm working on is Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. The first one was Amari and the Night Brothers. Absolutely loved it. I know the third book is out, so I would love to read Amari and the Great Game and then be able to pick up the third one. We have one that I think is going to be really sad. This one is Dear Mothman by Robin Gow. That is about cryptids, and the little boy's best friend dies, and so he talks to Mothman to try to like reconnect with his dead best friend. I think it's gonna be really sad. Then we have Midsummer's Mayhem by Rajani LaRocca. The start of a series, Thornlight by Claire Legrand, or maybe it's just a duology. This is Companion Tale Foxheart, so maybe it's just two, I'm not sure. And then finally we have Spineless by Samantha San Miguel. We just went through 14 books that are officially on my May TBR, plus 3 more that are on my TBR ongoing, plus another book that will be ongoing. That's a lot. However, I am also reading a lot, and I'm about to go on vacation for a couple days, so I will be reading even more. And so I have next to me a pile of possibilities because I am very much in a fantasy mood. I am very much in a wanting to read kind of like dark academia type mood. Let's just show you all the other books. I had to stifle myself when I was grabbing books off my shelves and be like, just focus, just pick out a couple that you want to read. One of them I just purchased yesterday. This one is Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. This is a romance. I just bought this one yesterday, like I said. I got my sister and I a copy, and so this is one that I will be reading along with my sister, and it's just like a Scottish inspired romance that so far I read the first couple pages yesterday and I'm really enjoying it already. Want to get this one read. I also have really been wanting to read a David Mitchell because I've heard really good things. So this one is Cloud Atlas. I've never seen the movie, but I know Emma from the channel Emmy, this is one of her favorite books of all time. She really likes David Mitchell's writing, so I would love to read Cloud Atlas and then watch the movie. We have like the most famous dark academia on BookTube, which is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I have not read The Goldfinch, but I've also heard very good things about that one. I've been told I'm either going to love this or freaking hate it, so I'm very intrigued by it. One that my husband got me for Christmas is the start of a new series by Martha Wells. This one is Witch King. I absolutely love the Murderbot Diaries. I've read the entire series twice, and I am very excited to have a new series to get started. Book 2, I believe, comes out later this year, so I would love to get the first one read. I would love to read another Kazuo Ishiguro. So I read The Buried Giant last year, and I really enjoyed it. I've heard The Remains of the Day is one of his like best works, so I would really like to read this one, and it's also pretty short. Another book that Emma highly recommends is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Never read anything by this author. Now this author's focus is really magical realism, and I tend to struggle with magical realism a lot of the time. So we'll see. I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy it. One that I probably showed in my spring book haul, but this is one that I think will be really fun to read over the spring. This one is My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. This one is translated from Italian. It's the first in a series or a trilogy, and people tend to really enjoy it. So I decided that I wanted to give it a go. We have The Prestige by Christopher Priest. I have seen The Prestige, I think once. It's about magicians. I've heard the book is even better, so I would really like to read it, and for some reason it is hitting my brain that like this would be a perfect spring summer read. So I don't know, we'll see. One that I'm definitely going to get to this month is the second book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. This is Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman. This is a super fun, really popular fantasy series that I started last month. My husband has read them twice since Christmas. There's 7 books, and he's been begging me to read this series so we can talk about them. So I read the first book last week, and I'm very much interested in getting to the next book, and this one is even smaller than the first book, so I know I'm gonna get through this one very fast. Only a couple more. I haven't hauled this one yet, but this is Homegrown Magic by Jamie Pacton and Rebecca Podos, and this one is a romance about a woman who has a greenhouse and she's a witch. And I just thought it would be like a super cozy spring read to read in the garden. Another one that definitely caught my attention because of the cover, this one is The Forest Brims Over by Maru Ayase, translated from the Japanese by Hayden Trowell. This one is about a woman who has a husband that's like very... Oh, right. So the husband writes novels and he uses his wife as the main character and talks a lot about her and in many different ways. And she feels very upset by that because they're very intrusive and he's like using her as a prop effectively, and then she eats a bunch of seeds and starts becoming a plant. I don't know, it sounds wild. I'm very excited for it, and again, this one is very short. Then I have this one, A Stroke of the Pen, The Lost Stories by Terry Pratchett. I really enjoyed Terry Pratchett's writing. I've read a handful of the Discworld books and have a ton of them on my Kindle, and this one just sounds like it's going to be super cute, plus that cover just kind of screams spring to me with like the little gnome guy, so I definitely want to get this one read. Also, again, very short. Another one that I just bought, this one is A Crown of Ivy and Glass by Claire Legrand. This is the Middle Miss Trilogy, book 1, and Whitney from Woody Novels, Claire Legrand is like one of her favorite authors, and she really enjoyed this book, so I would love to get this one read. This is a chonker, but I think it's gonna read pretty fast. And then the final one is The Golem and the Jinni by Helene Wecker. This one was super popular on BookTube a long time ago. I feel like it's one of those kind of like OG books, and I've had this one sitting on my shelf for years and I've never gotten to it, so I would really like to get to this one. I might even take this one on vacation with me, I'm not sure. Those are all the books that I have for my May TBR. It's a lot. It's not even all of the books that I would like to get to. My plan, like I said, is going to be reading as many from the actual TBR as possible. I want to read all of the middle grade books. I don't think they will take me that long to get to. I will be tracking my reading throughout the month. I'll be posting reading vlogs and weekly vlogs, trying to get all of these read. That is the goal. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought of them. What books are you most excited to get to in May? And that's it. Thanks for watching.